Good morning, everybody. Please ignore my wiggish ass looking hair because when I first wake up in the morning, this thing just is like unwildly. So today I have some pumpkin apple coffee. It's not too bad, but the pumpkin caramel coffee was way better than this one. So today I'm trying to get ready while telling this story because, again, I'm running a little late. Today is October 2nd. Woo! 5 days? Is it 5? I can't do math. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 5 days away from my first episode being dropped. I am starting to get all, excited and then, not excited at the same time because I don't know. I don't know if people are going to like this. If people are going to like this kind of series or whatever. So last night I had a really weird dream. I like to use the word weird a lot. I hear my eggs cooking in the background. I apologize. I just need to cook some. So when I'm out on the road, I have a nice high protein snack to eat. So last night I had a dream and it wasn't me in my dream. I was more so watching two guys. So these two guys were going to some school. They made a lot of friends there. They threw a party, partied it up. It was like a dorm room party or something like that. I've never even had dorm room parties. I've never was really invited to any high school parties. So my brain really made this up based off of movies I have watched. So I would say it was very similar to Project X style kind of party. And there was this girl they invited who was the loser of their, what do you call it? Not unit, but their grade, whatever they were studying, you know what I mean? And she was a big girl. She was plus size. She had dark brown hair, brown eyes. She had cute chubby cheeks. She had a beautiful face. She was just big. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But obviously these two guys, they didn't like her, but they acted like they did. So when they invited her to the party, basically they put her in the circle. Do you want in on the conversation? So basically when she got there, everybody was pretending to be super nice to her. Like, oh, hey, what's up? Now, last night, I don't remember any names, really. I also don't, I didn't hear anything that was being said. I'm making up what I believe they were saying. So my dream last night was very mute. It was like watching a movie on mute, which is strange. So, they walk her through the, when you go into a party and you walk through all the rooms and whatnot to get to the alcohol. So they walk her all the way to the alcohol. They give her a drink. When she's not looking, one of them spikes it. Yep. She wasn't paying attention, so she was just having fun because for the first time ever she felt accepted, she felt wanted, she felt like people could actually talk to her and noticed her. So she was really happy. Then all of a sudden when she started feeling it, everybody started backing up and she was in the circle. And then everybody started throwing their drinks at her, telling her she was a pig, she was an elephant, a giant hippo, that she was worthless, all of this stuff. I'm sure you can imagine. So I'm literally watching, filming all of this basically. So she's in the circle, she's getting all these drinks thrown at her. She's thinking about all the times that she's gotten bullied, all the times they spit on her in school, she got pushed around, told she was ugly and fat and all of this. And everything's just coming and rushing to her head while she's on the floor getting all these drinks poured on her. And then one guy tries to come over and unzips his pants like he's gonna pee on her. So at that moment, she gets up and she starts yelling at everybody. She's like, oh, you guys are worthless, you're pieces of shit, I hope you guys all die, you, this, that, screaming at all of them, crying, and everybody's like, oh, we made the poor little one upset. She was like, I hate you guys, you, and runs out into the backyard, just leaves, because the backyard wasn't fenced in. So she's running and running. She's on drugs, I think it was acid or something, because she was hallucinating that she was still being bullied and people were chasing her. And my point of view watched her run out. And then it went back into the party where everybody's laughing, ha ha ha, we'll see her tomorrow, she ain't gonna do shit. My peripheral changed her back to her after being at the party. She's hallucinating. She's seeing all these people. She thinks she's getting chased by them. And she's like, you know what? I really can't do this anymore. I hate my life kind of thing. And she was just running. She didn't know where she was. She was just running. She wanted to run away from all that. And then my peripheral changed to this train. There was two drivers in like the driver cab or whatever. I've never been on a train. I don't know. But there was two drivers in like the cab. And in my brain, the cab like looked like an airplane almost. So that's why I think there was two drivers. And it was nighttime. The drivers had their light on in the front. And they were just driving. They were going. And then they see a girl come from the woods. And they start honking. And it's the same girl. And she's just crying. She can't really see. She's looking behind her. And she's like, go away. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And she stumbles upon the train tracks and falls right onto the train tracks. And the train drivers were like honking for her to move. But when she hit the train tracks, she hit her head right on one of the railings that the wheels go on. And all of a sudden, the train just ran her right over. And the train had to stop. They called the police. And when they found her body, it was obviously smushed. It was run over. I saw the body after the train ran it over. And it was just something I had never seen, but my brain obviously did. But she was basically run over. Her head was like smushed. Her neck was smushed. Near her like hip kind of area was all the tire lines, and there was just blood coming out of everywhere. And her brain kind of came out the back, and it was just really gory. It was very gory. And the train drivers were like, oh my god, like we tried to warn her, we honked our horn, and the police was like, where did she even come from? How is she all the way out here kind of thing? So they ended up tracking her all the way back to the party the next morning that those people threw. All those people tried to say that they were really good friends with her, that they invited her to the party and she was having a good time, and then she ran off, blah, 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 blah. They lied about it, so the police believed it because they, like, who else? Like, who else were they going to ask? This girl was from the middle of nowhere going to this college. So apparently my point of view changed to her grave, and a couple people throwing flowers on it and walking away. And literally, like, in my point of view, like, on camera, I guess you could say, because I wasn't in the dream. It was just like I was watching or recording it. And in the dream, her body, like, manifests on top of her grave, kind of see-through-ish. She was in all white, and she was, like, crying. And I zoomed in on her crying and zoomed back out, and she wakes up. She's like, where am I? Where am I? And she's, like, looking at herself and, like, making it go through the stone, the headstone, and then she reads the headstone, and she's like, oh, my God. And so she starts floating back to the guy's house. Her first instinct after she realized that she was a ghost and she was dead was she was going to scare that. So she, my change of view went to him in his room playing video games. And while he was playing video games, she was outside in the window looking at him. And he felt something looking at him. So he looked over at the window, but she was inside behind him at that point. And he was wearing his headset. So when he was looking out the window, all of his buddies on the headset were like, dude, who's that behind you? Who is that? Where'd they come from? Somebody's behind you. Dude. And he, like, instantly, like, froze. And he slowly goes back to his monitor, because he records himself playing games, I guess. And he could see her figure behind him. And he was like, oh boy. And then, obviously, homegirl back here. So she screams wicked loud. All of the computers, the glass, like his games, everything shattered. They just broke. And he was like frozen. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't call for help. He didn't get up. Nothing. He just stayed there. So she yokes this boy up, turns him around to look at her. And on the little camera, because, like, she she broke it, like cracked it, but all his friends could still see. On the camera, all you saw was his body being lifted up, and then you could only see them from like chest down. So his legs are like wiggling in the air, and she's screaming in his face like I told you I was gonna come back. He was like, please, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I never meant it, blah, 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 blah. And he pisses himself right then and there. And she was like, and you thought you were going to use that on me. I don't fucking think so. And then she fucking took his body and threw him across the room. So he hit against the wall. His parents tried to come up the stairs like, what's going on in there? Open up, open up. They couldn't open the door. She was like, she went like this and threw, like, slid his whole dresser in front of the door so that they couldn't open it. And he was just like, I'm so sorry, I never meant it. And his friends were like, oh my God, are you okay? Who is that? What's happening? And then she goes like this, and the game goes flying. They can't see anymore. And she goes, I told you I was going to come back for you. And this is me coming back for you. And then she goes over to him again and just yokes him up, shakes him like a rag doll, throws him again to the point that he passes out at this point because he was so terrified, and he got hit twice by the wall. So that she was like, don't worry, I'll be back. And as she floated out of the window, everything went back to normal, and his parents came rushing in like, what happened? And he was like bleeding from his head. There was piss in his pants, but his room looked perfectly fine, like nothing happened. And they were like, what happened to you? I'm so confused. And he was just like, oh my God. And they were like, really? Did you lose a game or something? Suck it the up. Go shower. And he was like, he didn't realize that everything was back to normal in his room. So he was just like, what? In his head, he didn't know. So when he like realized that his room was perfectly fine, he was like, did I fall asleep? Did I dream that? Did I make that up? Did it really happen? He was so confused. And then I woke up. Yep. So when I woke up, I was like, I wasn't even in the dream that time. I wasn't even a character. Like, last night was a movie for sure. And I've never seen a movie where there was a plus-size ghost haunting her bullies or killers or whatever you want to call it, because it was really interesting. Like, I was like, wow, like my brain likes to make up some really out of this world kind of stuff. I don't get it. But that was my dream last night, you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your interpretations of my dream. I don't know. My mind is still baffled every day when I wake up after having a dream. And it will continue to be baffled, just like my past dreams and my future dreams to come. I'm going to wake up and be like, what? What the f was that? But I hope you guys have a good one. I have to walk my child over here that's kind of sort of begging. Hi. And I have to head to work. So have a good one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.